All right, good evening, everybody. Week 33 going into 2024. Coach Ken here, just touching base with you on some things, some notes that I've been kind of keeping track of for the week. This is going to be a private video because this is mainly for just all the coached athletes here, and there's really no public content on this or anything. So this is, some just pointers and things that I noted for the week that'll pertain to everybody here. For the endurance athletes here, we're all endurance athletes. We think we're immune to, recovery, and we focus so much on the training aspect of things that sometimes those disciplines of recovery and looking at the bigger picture, don't come so early on in our endurance journey until we have to play catch up. What I'm talking about is getting your stretching in, getting your yoga done. Be intentional with it, log it just as you would a workout. Everyone's so good at making sure their calendars are green every week, but why don't we start making sure that coach knows that you're getting some stretch time in. Me personally, I like to do it in the evening. Loosens things up before getting into bed. It makes me feel better in the morning. Makes me get a better sleep at night. There's plenty of resources out there. If you have certain things that are tighter than others, you can look those up. There's plenty of stretches and yoga flows and different things you can find on YouTube where you can follow along. And just like those workouts on your watch that get loaded, if you're following something, they go a lot quicker. So log it. If you don't have it, set up a activity profile on your Garmin for just yoga because it's easier to log it as that, and it goes into Training Peaks as an other workout. And just log your time on there. Minimum I think is a good 10 minutes. If you get a routine going, you'll realize 10 minutes goes by real quick. And I'm sure everybody has at least a 10 minutes before, the time wasted in their day where they can get this done or get it done after your workouts. Get back from that run or that bike and, you're feeling a little bit. Get into some stretching, some long holds, some poses, and that'll help out, sparking that kind of recovery, elongating the muscles and getting the blood flowing to them. So do it. Trust me, because when things start bothering you and we have to play rehab instead of prehab, that's usually no good. Trust me, I know. As far as swim workouts, I know as you sometimes see them listed, they're going to be as minimum distance or time. You can accomplish either one because some people like to go in and do drills or form work, which is going to be a little bit slower. So you can then just work on the distance for the day, or if you're doing longer sets, you can work on the time in the pool. And as well, some people swim faster than others, so someone who swims and is really good in the pools doing flip turns and that and can swim 135 140 per 100 versus someone who's still learning the freestyle stroke and is 210 215 220 plus. That kind of just evens things out. So just try and shoot for one or the other in those swim workouts, get them done, and don't worry about how they turn yellow or orange, but you think you did it right. By the end of the week, I go back, I check everything by week's end. Usually Sundays are the easiest because your calendar's there for the whole week. I'll go in there, I'll pop around, I'll try and pair things as they need be. Swimming, if you swam 45 minutes instead of 40 minutes, I'm going to change it to 45 minutes. Great job. We've talked about swimming, how you can do more of that as opposed to some of the other activities during the week. So that's what I do at the end of the week. I go in there. You don't have to worry about adjusting things. If something doesn't jive right and you think you got the workout done right, usually, by Sunday night or Monday morning, go back and take a look at the week before and you can see everything kind of paired up and whatnot. If you have to change like your long bike or your long run for the triathletes, Saturday, Sunday, or swap them because of the weather or something like that, if you have a premium account, you can do that yourself. You can just go into the app, click the workout, change the date so it goes to the next day. It will make my life just a little easier on those because then I don't have to pair and unpair workouts and then drag things and fix calendars at the end of the week. And I can spend more time being more forward thinking with your plan as opposed to backward engineering everything and trying to fix things in the past and having them all jive right. If not, don't worry about it. That's what I'm here for, and I'll take care of it. Some of you just rock and roll, like legit, knocking things out, been working together for a little bit, and even some of the newer athletes on here this year that are working with me. But, some of the athletes that are not in their first season with me, like, you understand how the process works, how the testing works, how I validate the testing, how I see how I can judge where your fitness level is and how I can give you the workouts to do. And you just boom, green, green, green all week long on there. And you may not hear from me as often as when we first started working together. That's just because I see what you're doing, and then at the end of the week, usually as I'm going through everything, I'll just reach out to you on Discord. I'll give you a nice big thumbs. I'll just be like, hey, if you don't have any questions yet, just keep rocking and rolling. Like, you are just in the plan, and that's what it needs to be at some point. If this is your first season working with me, and we have the experience to work further past this one season together, that's when really things start jiving, because we've been through a training plan, we've been through up to an A race together. You kind of understand how things are supposed to work with a coach and structure, and then it just becomes this awesome fluid machine of just workouts on. You read them, you know how to do them, you know the intensities, you know what I'm looking for or not looking for, and it just becomes awesome. And that's when progress really starts going pretty good with that. It's getting to that part of the year, right, where everyone's building deep into their plans, or the marathon plans are jumping off. Even for New York City, for the runners, things are going to start heating up as far as like volume wise. The number, the workout loads are going to get higher. So you're going to start to see if those smart decisions at the beginning of your plan are going to, if they're paying off now. And what I mean by that, there's a few things going on here. It's easier at the beginning of the plan when the volume's down to kind of like push it a little bit, because you're feeling good and you're getting into it, and the workouts aren't that long, so you're putting a lot of energy and effort into them, maybe a little bit too much than you should have. That acute extra fatigue starts to become chronic, and then when you have to start hitting and planning out these big sessions and these big blocks of training, you'll be like, oh, I'm starting to dig myself into a little bit of hole, and we don't want to have to pull back and readjust too much there. So this is the time when you can still readjust, lock and load what you need to do intensity wise, and it's probably going to be a step back or two. You might have to deploy the parachute just a pinch in order to progress forward in the plan and feel motivated. And I'll tell you like this, I spoke about it with an athlete this week. It's something I mentioned in the past as well on Instagram, is let's see if I can get it right. Here's the rule of thirds. A third of the time, you're going to go out there and it's just going to be, it is what it is. It's just going to be like a regular training day. Another third of the time, you're going to be super motivated, super just energetic, can't wait to get the workout done. And another third of the time, man, it's just going to suck. Like, you're not going to want to do it. And guess what? If you're feeling all those different types of things, and they're kind of like flowing back and forth, and, some weeks you feel this, some weeks you feel that, other workouts you feel this, that's good. That's actually how it's supposed to feel. If it all felt sunshine and rainbows, you're probably, we're not pushing you enough. We're not giving you the amount of volume that you need to be doing. Or vice versa, if it's just you're getting beat up every day, we need to relook at it, and you have to start enjoying some of the training, because that's you. If you're in this game and you don't enjoy it, then there's at least most of the time, that's not good. And that just leads me to the next thing, which is you'll never regret a workout that you did. And what I mean by that is, if you wake up, you all have those days where you're just like, man, I got a big session, I don't want to go. And you're just sitting there. You're just sitting in your run shoes like, man, this is terrible. Just get started. Say you have a 2-hour run to do. Say, you know what, I'm not feeling it today. I'm just change up. This is when that decision needs to be made. A missed workouts, no, that's just, unless you really have to miss it. Like, there's no reason to miss it if you were able to go start it. Go start it. Hey, change up. You know what? I'm just going to go for an hour today. It is what it is. I've noticed that sometimes on those days when I do get out there and start, they become some of the best training sessions I ever had. So, I mean, just take that for a grain of salt. But to me, that's my experience with it. Just some of those days when you finally get out there and beat those demons inside you that are telling you no, like why you do this. Those days, sometimes you have breakthrough performances, and it's pretty transcending when that happens. As far as decisions on week structure, so you have your calendar for the week. We talk about it a lot, how to structure things. Things change. We have lives. I get it. Hey, you got to miss a workout. It is what it is. We don't make up workouts, so if we've missed a day, we've already had our rest day that week, it's very hard to add in that workout later in the week. You have big key sessions coming up. I'd rather you hit the key session rested and prepared, and the weekend, those big sessions prepared, than just throw in a random workout that you should have did on Tuesday on like a Thursday night, and then really start fatiguing yourself into the weekend. If you have questions on how to structure, if something happens, shoot me a message. We'll talk about it. But it stinks when I see somebody step out for a big session and it really wasn't performed what I think would have been up to their ability that day, or they had to scale back that key session, and I start to dig in and see maybe why that session had to be dug back was because of a really hard workout the night before, because they couldn't get it done in the morning. I get it, that's life. Maybe you had to get up early for work that day, last minute, maybe, and you're like, I'll just get it done after work. Pushing some type of intensity that late into the night when you got to wake up tomorrow for a few hours of training is probably not a good idea. I'd rather you honestly go to bed, feel rested, show up, be intentional about that big session the next day, and be able to crush it and do what you're supposed to do. And maybe you'll feel even better that day, and you can add a little bit of that intensity that you missed the day before into the end of that workout. That would be a smart decision, and that's something you got to keep in the back of your head. If you have the ability, I will say, be careful with the 2-a-day workouts. I see people doing 4-a-day workouts. They're getting in 4 different sports in one day, and that's you're just asking for trouble. It's not really going to work out too well. For triathletes, endurance stuff, or if you have some other sport that you're connected to outside of this, I try and separate them as best as I can. I've had days where, and I wouldn't do 2 hard sessions in one day. If I wake up and I go with my group in the morning and we have an easy run, and whether I'm off that day or I have to go to work and I can get home early enough at night, maybe I can get one of those interval rides in at night, but it's spread out. I'll make sure I'm fueling during the day. I'll also, judge like how much stress I had at work that day. Was I on my feet all day? These are just decisions. Again, these decisions we need to make in the grand scheme of things. Zoom out. It's not all about every box being checked. It's not about, is coach going to be upset if I miss a workout? I'd rather you come at me and say, I made some smart decisions this week and this is why I did that. That shows me you're progressing as an athlete and you're progressing as somebody in this endurance sports you're starting to master the sport. Like, that's how you make these decisions, and these smart decisions that are going to help you grow and get you to race day in a good fashion. Intervals and hard sessions, again, those are key sessions. We want to be fresh for them, so we want to make sure we're holding back a little bit. You actively have to sometimes hold yourself back on the easier days. I trust that you're trying to do that more. I don't really have to tell too many people, slow it down to this pace, specifically. But the more leniency I give, the more things start to creep into that harder section, that like zone X section too much. Remember, we're not running the race in training. We don't want to show up flat on race day. There's only so many times we can put in a race pace effort on a long bike or run leading into our key events. So just be careful of that. I'd rather you show me some good intervals on your interval day than just be throwing up, decently good long stuff a lot that is kind of like muddied along the way with kind of just too much moderate intensity. I think we talked about most of it. With those interval workouts, especially on Zwift, I asked a few people, I have to know how you feel based on your FTP number. If you think that it's these workouts are too easy, I do the same workouts based on the same percentages, so I know how they're supposed to feel with proper data. You can always adjust mid-workout too. If you're not feeling it for the day and you got to get this ride in, you're like, oh man, I got to do this 8x2 minute interval bike, and man, these 2-minute intervals are going to kick my ass. Just not feeling it. Maybe getting over being sick or you didn't sleep well. There is a way on the top left of the screen while you're in the workout, it says 100 with a plus or minus. You could pop it down a little bit, come down to 95%, and reduces all of the power levels for the workout. And that I'd rather you complete the workout, a hard workout completed, than a really hard workout failed and had to end the session, if that makes sense. Don't do it often, because I like to see you push yourself a little bit, but everybody handles hard different. Some people can kind of grind through on a day they don't have a lot of energy. Other people, they can't, and they just don't handle hard as better, and that's fine. Don't really jack it up too much, because if you keep jacking it up because you want harder workouts, that means we got to do another FTP test and we got to get some real good consistent data. That means something's off, and maybe your FTP is not where it's supposed to be. The other thing is two more things. The Discord app. I did make a video on how to navigate the app after I did an update about a month ago, and I'll be honest, it says 0 views. Nobody's viewed it, so I would go in there and just watch it real quick. It gives you an idea of where to post everything because the whole part about that app is to be really accessible for people that want to get information as soon as possible. The biggest thing is the group swim, bike, run sections is really just to post when you're going out to train. Hey, I'm running 10 miles tomorrow, here at this time, this pace. So that if somebody's looking for a run buddy, they can click in there and see that it's the last post right there. Boom. That oh wow, somebody's running tomorrow in my area, and then they can do that. If we chat too much in those groups about other things, it kind of that request for a training partner may go unfounded, and someone might miss out on training with somebody. If you want to comment, and the general chat is always open for just open conversation, whatever you want to do on there. But I would recommend if you go into I believe it is the announcements tab up top. The video is posted right there, navigating the Discord app. I would just pop that on there. You can see kind of what I was looking for and why I structured the Discord app the way it does, and why certain permissions or certain ways on some of that stuff. Last one is unfortunately just something I want to remind everybody of is safety. Safety. Shit happens, and when it happens, we can get really hurt, and to nobody's fault. Over the coaching and endurance time that I've had, I have seen some people get hurt. I have seen some bad bike accidents. I've heard of friends that are getting bad bike accidents, and we had another couple recently, a few actually, that separate incidents that unfortunately some people went down on the bike. Thankfully, health-wise, they'll be okay. Bike-wise, some bikes are messed up. Things happen. We had a couple last year. It happens, and it may not be anybody's fault. We're riding bikes. We're riding out there at speed sometimes, depending where we are with wind or downhill descents or whatever it is, 25, 30 plus miles per hour sometimes. So be very important. Make sure, I know I don't got to say anything on here, but again, safety first. Always wear your helmet. You see people on the path of riding, and they're riding blowing by in the opposite direction with no helmet on, and it just amazes me that you would decide to do that anywhere riding a bike without a helmet. But just be careful out there. Anything can happen. It may not even be your fault. It may just be the wheel cuts out on a turn one way, and when that front end gets loose, that's it. It could be game over. You're over the handlebars. Watch out for sand out there on the roads, especially after rainstorms, debris. Just remember, just be safe out there. One thing I do recommend, I believe, I'll double check if they're still an affiliate. I'll double check right now if I can pop it up here. Road ID, yes, we have one on there. If we don't have an affiliate discount, try it. It's in the affiliate group. Road ID, everybody should have one on their watch. That should be good for group training as well. Where God forbid something happens and you're unable to provide the information yourself, there'll be some emergency contact info on there, and it's literally you can put it on your Garmin watch. It's just a band that has a couple phone numbers on it with names, and if anything happens, at least you can call somebody, you can let some family members know, and get some information out on what is going on. And that's if it's on your watch, you got it everywhere. Swim, bike, run, whatever you're doing, you'll have information, just daily emergency information. It's really a great thing to have. So pop on there. That's Road ID. I recommend it for everybody. And that's really it. A quick 20-minute video. I just want to really update everybody. Keep cracking. Keep getting along with it. I know we got the training weekend next weekend. A lot of people reached out. I'm just reaching out for some other people too, old training partners, seeing if people want to come down. Don't be scared. Don't think there's any type of paces that need to be hit. This is not a race. This is nothing. This is just showing up, starting with other people. You can do your own thing after we start, or if you want to pull a little bit, try and jump on with another pacing group, or hey, you want to just chill that day, enjoy the ride, go back with a different pacing group and just enjoy the miles. That's fine. That's what it's all about, is just getting this longer distance in for a lot of people, and doing it over the course of the weekend and building some confidence. Want to have a good time next weekend, and confidence. That's what it's all about. And I'll catch you all this week. I hope I see a bunch of you next weekend. this is the I guess the pinnacle weekend of the summer for getting in some group training and trying to see all each other and meet some of you for the first time possibly. So that's all I got for tonight. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and again, just keep bouncing that life 1 mile at a time. You're all crushing it. I'll see you soon.